Hey everybody, welcome to another game. It's not a game stream. I was stuck on my Twitch voice there for a minute. This is a Robo review unboxing. That's what it is. And I have two things. I have two boxes. And I'm not entirely sure what's in them. I have a lot of things on order right now, and so they could be anything. They're going to be Transformer related. I know that because that's the only stuff I have on order right now, but I don't remember which ones because Hasbro lately has made a habit of telling you when when you put in a pre-order, they tell you, oh, it's supposed to ship around this date. So you think, okay, I can plan ahead for that. And then they bump some things up sooner and some things up later. They play fast and loose with their scheduled release times. So I'm not sure what I have right now. I could have looked on the Hasbro Pulse site and checked to see what potentially has shipped and what's not in my hands yet. But I figured it was nicer to be surprised. So we've got the box cutter. We've got the boxes surrounded by kittens. Let's see what we got. First box. They're about deluxe sized or Voyager sized boxes, so I would assume they're either deluxe or Voyager. And they're going to be most likely from the Age of the Primes, because that's the current toy cycle. So let's see what the first one is. Got it in the corrugated cardboard as always. That's Hasbro's preferred shipping method right now. Okay, this one is Flatline. Now, Flatline is from the comic universe and from the, I believe, he's based off of the Red Alert from the either Armada or Energon or Cybertron. It's from the Unicron trilogy. I didn't like most of the characters from that, but I do like Flatline. And I think he's kind of cool. Turns into like an SUV kind of thing. He's a mad doctor for the Decepticons. So kids are watching my every move here. I'm going to set him aside for a minute before I get into him to open up the other box. So let's see what this one is. It could be a Prime, or it could be an Insecticon, or it could be, who knows what it could be. I don't know. I have no idea. Slice it open. Let's get in there. Aha, it's a Prime. This one is Micronus Prime, and he's a miniature Prime. He's supposed to be kind of like a Minicon, like the first Minicon. You kidding? What are you doing, huh? This is Turnip, by the way. Turnip and his brother Gourd. They're both named after vegetables for some reason. Here's Gourd. They're up and about. They're troublemakers. So he's actually a miniature robot inside a big suit. So that's interesting. No, don't get into that. Nope. Turnip. They get into everything right now. They're at that curious age of kittens. And the house is not kitten proof. Gonna need some drink. Now this guy is interesting because the transformation turns into like a disc kind of thing for Micronus himself, and like a single wheel unicycle kind of thing for the mech suit. So let's get into these. Let's get into Flatline first, since he was the first one that we opened. Let's see what we have available here. set aside his instructions. We need to save those for later. Here he is, all attached to the box. Set that behind me. I'll clean all this up stuff. I'll clean all this up later. Box cover's getting awfully dull at this point. I'm gonna really need to nick myself with it. Did I cut myself or did I just hit myself with it? It's hard to say. If it starts to bleed in a second, we'll find out. But the blade is awfully dull, which means it's dangerous if I did cut myself. I need to replace the blade. He feels pretty solid upon first impressions. Pretty solid. Those are some tight elbow joints. Get out the heel spurs. If I can get them out. I have very short fingernails, so I have trouble sometimes with heel spurs and things that are in the feet. Hold it in. He's got really tight joints. Like, I'm noticing that right off the bat. He's got really tight joints. The hip joints are tight. The knee joints are tight. He's got two knee joints. He's got one at the top and one at the shin. Kind of. Do you see that? And they snap. They really kind of. The shoulder joints are tight. The elbow joints are super tight. And the elbow joints are butterfly, are double jointed, not butterfly. But there's a double hinge. Interesting head sculpt. Interesting head sculpt. Very nice and Decepticon looking. Let's get out of these boxes, guys. Come on. Cats. Let's open up his accessory packet, because his accessory packet, of course, comes in a little tissue paper kind of wrapping now. Don't know where these are supposed to go. Take a look at the box. Comes with a couple little silver painted over red little guns. I believe, according to the box, they're supposed to go on these little pegs on his back. Don't eat that. Okay, well, that one didn't go through, did it? They're being kittens and they're chewing, they're teething. This part, it's a flap, probably for transformation. So when I tried to plug it in, I just pushed the flap and didn't hit the gun thing. But there they go on his back. And then he has get out from there. Go on. Bad cats. Hold on. No. Out from there. What are you doing? Yes. clean up around here. Get that out of the way. This video's off the rails already. I'm telling you. Okay. So what is that? I guess this is like a prong of some kind that he uses to attack people because it goes, the box shows him holding it like he's going to stab somebody with it. So the box shows him holding it like that. So that's interesting. And then he also has some kind of a blaster gun, which is this, right? And this will go in his other hand. Very shallow peg on it, though. So it shows him holding it like that. So that's him. This little stabby device. His super tight joints. So that's flatline. I like the figure. Man, are these joints tight? I don't know how long it's going to take before these kind of loosen up a little bit. I hope they don't get too loose, but it does make things a little difficult. I see where you can store the gun back here in vehicle mode because the red part here on the gun will connect with the red part in vehicle mode. So that's clever. The tab is really, really shallow. So it is pretty difficult to stay in his hand here. Man, are his joints stiff. So there's Flatline. He's a cool figure. I'm kind of thrown off by the tightness of everything, but I guess we'll see how it goes, huh? Make sure the box is broken down. See if I can break that down for later. I was saving all of my boxes in case I ever had to sell them or I had to move or something like that, but it's just they take up too much space. So let's get into my Cronus Prime. Bit out of sorts tonight. Let's open him. Instructions, of course. Probably going to need them with him because he's a little interesting. Box down. Here he is in the pack. He doesn't have an accessory pack that I can see. Well, he kind of has one over here. Unobtrusive. Out of the pack here. His legs are secured very kind of weirdly. Here we go. Pick up the little plastic pieces. Put them all away. Put that up there for now. And he's very kind of stubby-legged. Because again, this is a suit. Got little propellers back here that are supposed to be part of the unicycle. And then if you open up the chest, you see how that opens up. That's where the actual Micronus Prime Minicon is. He pops right out in this little disc. Do a quick transformation. Turn his head around, turn his legs around. All right, now this is the actual Micronus Prime figure. See if I can get a little bit of zoom on his face. Decent head sculpt, decent expression. Let me see if I can pop out. Maybe the camera will pop in on his face. I don't know. And he's got elbow articulation. He's got knee articulation, and that's about it in the shoulders because he's just a Minicon, right? And here's the suit, of course, without him in it. And the suit you can just use kind of separate if you want. But it's kind of cool. The head has a little bit of give, but there's a big piece of the bike behind it, so he doesn't have a lot of motion. He's got shoulders, he's got elbows, he can do the splits, he's got ankle tilts, even with such short legs. So it's kind of cool. And then, of course, the Minicon folds back up into this little disc. And you're supposed to turn his head around, but his head was difficult enough to get turned around the first time. So I'm just going to leave it forward, which makes him look kind of ridiculous, but that's fine. And of course, he's got a little plug on the back that he plugs into in the center there. And then he's secure once again in his mechanical suit, which is kind of cool. It's a neat concept. It's a nice little variation on the typical like Power Master, Headmaster kind of thing. Let's see what kind of accessories it's got. It's a very tiny little package. Little tiny. Super tiny. So let's see what we've got in the package here. It's difficult to open because it's so small, to be honest. Looks like there's only one thing in here. I can get into it. My goodness. And it's a little like turbine kind of piece that has his symbol on it. I'm guessing that plugs in to the little front part there. To keep that sealed. And there you go. So that's Micronus Prime. Not the most articulation as far as the primes of this series go, but he still does have full ankle tilt, and he comes off kind of like a dwarf. He's got guns for fingers in his big suit. It's an interesting concept. I think for the age of the Primes line, they're taking every possible Transformers like variant and giving them a Prime progenitor. Like with Onyx Prime, it was the Beast Wars. For Solus Prime and Prima and Alchemist and Solus Prime, you had like the G1 kind of thing or the comic kind of stuff. Here you have the Armada, etc. These cats. Or all that. Amalgamus Prime is going to be like a combiner kind of thing, I think, or like combine different parts. So I like that they all have kind of different gimmicks and things. It's interesting. So here we go. Latest unboxing. We've got Flatline, and we've got my Cronus Prime. Are you excited for these figures? Do you have them on pre-order? Do you have them in your hand already? Do you think they're a waste of time? Tell me how you feel about it. Leave me a comment, and I will catch you folks for the next special unboxing event. Have a good night.